What's up, y'all? What a beautiful day. Man, them young people was telling the truth. I just love young people. Young people, man, they know what they talking about. Okay. So we gonna end out, as we do with some music. So I hope you getting up and getting your boogie on. So
New Cupid,
let's go. Again, my name's DJ Ace in the place. And I'm honored to be here at the Black Women's Wellness Conference with you all. Let's go.
We got a brand new day. They say I'm a rapper and I say no. They say what you doing, trying to do somebody cold. I just let the music come from my soul, so all of my people can stay on the floor. They got a brand new dance. You gotta move your muscle. Brand new dance. It's called a Cupid Shuffle. It don't matter if you're young or you're old. Here we go. We gon' show you how it goes. To the right, to the right, to the right, to the right, to the left, to the left, to the left, to the left. Now kick. Now walk it by yourself. Now walk it by yourself. Let me see you do the Cupid. Let me see you do the Cupid. Do the shuffle, baby. Now walk it by yourself. Now you see what I'm talking about. I represent for the dirty South, where we're known for swinging now. King of swing out, baby. I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. Show you that. Let me see you do the Cupid shuffle, the Cupid shuffle, the Cupid shuffle, the Cupid shuffle. Now come on, baby, kick. Now walk it by yourself. Walk it by yourself. To the right, to the right, to the right, the right, the right. The left, to the left, to the left, the left, the left. Now kick, now kick, now kick, now kick. Now walk it by yourself. Walk it by yourself and do the Cupid shuffle. Now let me see you do the Cupid shuffle. Now let me see you do the. It's your boy Cupid, see you feet are out of D. It's a bet on the track, got another hit indeed. Show you that, do you come on, show you that, do you that. Let me see you. Show you that, do you that, do you that. Show you that, we got a brand new day. We got a brand new sound. We got a brand new feel. We got a brand new style.
All right. I hope you're sweating. So now I'm just gonna do some feel-good music right now. Y'all remember Luther, right? It's never too much to be a black woman. It's never too much to get what we deserve. Let's go, y'all. I don't know if I think this might have been Big Luther. This Big Luther or Skinny Luther? I'm just having fun, y'all. We just having fun. Come on. Let's groove.
I can't fool myself. I don't want nobody else to ever love me. You are my shining star, my guiding light, my love fantasy. There's not a minute, hour, day, or night that I don't love you. You're at the top of my list, cause I'm always thinking of you. I still remember in the days when I was scared to touch you, how I spent my day dreaming, planning how to say I love you. You must have known that I had feelings.
Again, y'all, I'm DJ Ace.
Swimming. That's when you opened
I'm
up
guaranteed
your
to
heart
make it say,
and you
that's
told me
my
to
jam.
come and oh, my love.
It's been a beautiful day, y'all. I love being in community with y'all today. All my sisters, all my brothers. We just doing the jam
I
thing.
just don't wanna stop. Oh, my love. A million days in your arms is never too much. I just don't wanna stop. Too much, never too much, never too much, never too much.
Thank you, Kaya. I thought it was Big Luther. Thank you, Miss Paulette. I've enjoyed you all too. It's been a great day.
Today, look at your picture just to get me started. I called you up, but you weren't there, and I was broken hearted. Hung up the phone, can't be too late. The boss is so demanding. Open the door up, and to my surprise, there you were standing. Who needs to go to work to hustle for another dollar? I'd rather be with you, cause you make my heart scream and holler. Love is a gamble, and I'm so glad that I am winning. We've come a long way, and yet this is only the beginning of my love. 1,000 kisses from you is never too much. I just don't wanna stop. Oh, my love. A million days in your arms is never too much. And I just don't wanna stop. Oh, my love. 1,000 kisses from you is never. I just don't wanna stop.
Hey, gotta have some good loot. Now this one you gotta be a little seasoned for to know this one here now. This here is that good jam. I hope y'all moving in your house here, cause I am. I've been sweating all day. Cause we funkin' for Jamaica right now.
Jamaica funk, that's what it is. Let it get into you. Fucking for Jamaica. If you feel it, let it get into you. Jamaica funk, that's what it is. Let it get into you. If you feel
Y'all got me sweating over here. Let me tell you something, but it's been good sweat. I'll tell you that, okay? So we done had a good time. We are still going. We got a couple more minutes, so I'm just going to keep playing some jams. You keep grooving with me. And, you know, that's how this Friday going to go. You know what I'm saying? Hey, hey, hey.
I got a condo in Manhattan. Baby girl, what's happening? You and your then ride it. So gonna get to clapping. Go pop it for a plan. Pop it for me. Turn around and drop it for a plan. Drop it for me. I went to beach house in Miami. Wake up with no jammies. Lobster tail for dinner. Julio served that scampi. You got it if you want it. Got it if you want it. Said you got it if you want it. Take my wallet if you want it now. Jump in the Cadillac. Girl, let's put some miles on it. Anything you want, just to put a smile on it. You deserve it, baby. You deserve it all. And I'm gonna give it to you. Gold jewelry shining so bright. Strawberry champagne on us. Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I like. Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I like. Sex by the fire at night. Silk sheets and diamonds, all white. Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I like. Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I like. I'm talking trips to Puerto Rico. Say the word and we go. You can be my flica. Girl, I'll be a flico, mama sister. I would never make a promise that I can't keep. I promise that your smile ain't gonna never leave. Shopping sprees in Paris. Everything 24 carats. Take a look in that mirror. Now tell me who's the fairest. Is it you? Is it you? Is it me? Is it me? Say it's us. Say it's us. And I'll agree, baby. Jump in the Cadillac. Girl, let's put some miles on it. Anything you want, just to put a smile on it. You deserve it, baby. You deserve it all. And I'm gonna give it to you. Gold jewelry shining so bright. Strawberry champagne on us. Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I like. Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I like. Sex by the fire at night. Silk sheets and diamonds, all white. Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I like. Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I like. You say you want a good time, but here I am, baby. Here I am, baby. Talk to me, talk to me, tell me what's on your mind. If you want it, girl, come and get it. All this is here for you.
All right, that was the real truth. Thank you so much, DJ Ace. We are going to go now into our final Sister Circle and prize giveaway, the time we've all been waiting for. And in my hot little hands are the lucky winners of the wonderful gifts bestowed on us by Willie Street Co-op, Walgreens Festival Foods, Sephora, and Honey Pot, of course, as you see behind me. So today we're going to bring to the stage lots of folks from the foundation: Lisa Payton Care, who you've been seeing all day, Jasmia Hamilton, and Kristen Calloway. So the foundation is here to close us out with our highlights. And we're going to be talking to you in the chat. So please join me in the chat. I'm going to present some questions for you to hear about how your day has been going. Lisa, what do you have to say about today? You're on mute, Lisa. I can't hear you, Lisa, so I'm going to keep it going until we can get you on. So I'm going to drop this question in the chat, but what is one word that describes how you're feeling right now? I am feeling super energized, motivated. Tell me how you're feeling in the chat right now. What is that one word that you're walking away? So when people walk up to you and they say, hey, you were at the 13th annual Black Women's Wellness Day, how are you feeling? Pop that word in the chat for me right now. I'm seeing happy, affirmed, warm, thrilled, lit.
I love that word. That's awesome. Uplifted, rejuvenated. Yes. Motivated. Keep them coming. This is what we want to hear. This is the intention and the purpose of Black Women's Wellness Day, is to provide information, education, all those things for motivation to get us to act. And so we're going to talk a little bit about today, as I'm joined with folks from the team here at the Foundation for Black Women's Wellness, a little bit about the work that we're doing. We mentioned it earlier. We've been kind of popping in the chat and referencing it throughout the day. We're really excited about it, but we get to really dig into some more details today. And that is what Lisa is going to provide for us. And so I'm going to ask you one more question before we pass it on over to Lisa, and that, what is your highlight from the day? I know it's hard, but if you only had to pick one, okay, maybe two, what is your highlight from today? I want to hear it. I want to see it in the chat. Lisa.
Oh my goodness, what is my one word for today? Are you asking me this question?
I'm saying, what's your one word? And then I want to hear what your highlights said.
Powerful. That would typically be my word, but today I think we experienced something that was just exceedingly powerful. I think everyone in this space felt the same thing at the same time. I think the messages that we've heard today have been crystal clear about what the next actions are for us as Black women. I felt there was alignment in our understanding that it's time for us to move into a space where we are uncompromising in what we demand for ourselves personally and collectively. I think we heard loud and clear that policy has to be our vocation consciously. Yes, Debbie Jones, Dr. Debbie Jones, our board member, says purpose, passion, and plan. That was Dr. Gloria Ladson-Billings' words this morning. I'm thinking through the panelists and all the sessions this morning, and we were talking on the break just in between on how much synergy there was. So these panelists, across panels, didn't talk to each other in advance. They had no knowledge other than what was on our website of what we were going to be discussing, but we had that universal theme of building the future we deserve. And I think that resonated with everyone here. If it resonated with you, tell us that it resonated with you. I'd love to hear your thoughts, as Aaliyah asked earlier. What are you taking away from that theme, building the future we deserve? Yes, and I'm seeing comments about Dr. Jones. The day was powerful. The messages were powerful. The women in the space are powerful. The way we've been galvanized has been powerful. And we can't even see each other. We can't see each other. This is the first event. Even last year when we took things virtual, we were in an interface where we could see each other. We can't see each other today, but we can feel each other. We're speaking the same language, and I can feel the energy and the power coming out of this chat from women. I know many of you by reading the names, and I don't know many of you, but I do know you, right? We know each other as Black women. And it's just powerful. I'm walking away with powerful and trusting that tomorrow will be equally as powerful. Yep, and we know what we need and what we deserve. Yes, Terry Strong. We are the future, Yvette. Agreed. Those are my thoughts.
Awesome. Well, we are joined, as you mentioned in the morning, we have been growing as a foundation, and we have been growing in numbers, and we've been growing in talent and expertise and passion. And so we are joined today by Kristen, our policy and program and policy manager. We are joined by Jasmia, the program manager for the Well Black Woman Institute, which we started to talk about and sprinkled a little bit in there. And if everybody hasn't had the opportunity, please go to the vendor space, find the booth for the Well Black Woman Institute, sign up if you're interested. You're going to hear a little bit more about it by now, but please check it out. There's an interest form for you to fill out. If you're excited about what we're talking about what Black women deserve, please visit our booth, the Black Women Deserve, our policy booth. To really sign up to learn more and just become a part of our listserv and how you can get involved. So that's who we have here with us today. And so I'd love to hear more from them. Lisa, do you want to kick us off?
Yeah, so as Aaliyah said, and thank you all. Yeah, I have to first say thank you for staying for this closing session. This has been a very long day, but the energy is still pouring in. I saw your comment just now. Was it Corinda? Was it Adrian who said, even in a virtual space, the foundation has brought the energy. This energy is amazing. It is. We've created a space that's inspirational and empowering, but it's a long day. So the fact that you're still here with us, listening, tuning in, extracting this energy and hopefully just pulling it into yourself and thinking about what steps you'll take beyond today to start building a future or continue building a future that you and we deserve. We're grateful for that. So in this session, as Aaliyah said, we have a couple team members who are newer to our team. Kristen joined us last fall as our programs and policy manager, as Aaliyah stated, and that's a new role for us at the foundation as we realize that we have to move into the policy space intentionally. And Kristen brings so much of a policy and research background with her from her previous positions in our community and leadership roles that she's taken on, and is leading the work around our policy blueprint for Black women's health, which we did debut this morning through our preamble, which is just a snippet of our policy blueprint, which will be a project, a major initiative that we develop over the next year as a powerful roadmap and a document to guide change around health equity for Black women in Wisconsin. And then there's Jasmia Hamilton, who just recently joined us. How long have you been with us, Jasmia? Has it been a month or two yet? It's very recent. And she joined us as our Well Black Woman Institute manager. And that's a very powerful project. We were very fortunate last year to receive funding to launch a vision that we've held for quite some time. But you know, sometimes you have to wait until the time is right and the stars aligned, and the stars aligned for us this last year to be able to get the means to create this health equity training academy for Black women that will transform not only the presence of Black women, but the number of Black women across many counties across our state to drive change with us to move towards real health equity. So we wanted Kristen and Jasmia to share more about those initiatives with us. And as they do that, as Aaliyah said, please go to the expo area. We have specific booths set up for you to learn more about the policy blueprint and to learn more about the Institute. So now, Kristen, can you tell us more about your role as the policy and programs manager and about the Black Women Deserve preamble that we have launched today?
Absolutely. I am like crying tears of joy. I'm just so full about this work and the release of the preamble. It's truly been a labor of love and listening to our ancestors, listening to women in our community, listening to each other. And that's what makes this work so powerful. So I'm so excited, as Dr. Kamara Jones said this morning, about giving the agenda, right, as we move into this policy world and claim what we deserve. So part of the work that I'm doing here is building out the next steps of the blueprint. So the preamble that you got today set the agenda, set the pillars, introduce the pillars of our policy work and our research agenda. And the next step is taking the energy from Black Women's Wellness Day that we feel behind the scenes, on the internet, on Twitter, Facebook, everywhere. And really, as Black women, taking that work into policy, right? So that's the next step. And you'll see some research. You'll see some what we're calling Black papers, because we got the degrees around here and we got the knowledge, right? So my grandmother is one of the most world-renowned in my world scholars that I know. And she always taught me that there's never knowledge beneath you. We get these degrees so we can do what we want to change the world. So I'm just really excited to be here. I'm so glad to be in a space that loves on us, loves internally as we go out and love on the world and other Black women. So yeah, go to Foundation for Black Women's Wellness .org/Black Women Deserve. Learn more about our policy blueprint, learn more about our pillars, learn more about the work and how we do this work and how we lead with Black women. Because when Black women are prioritized and Black women lead the work, we know that change is on the way. So glad to be here.
I am holding a not so beautiful printed out copy on our little, nonprofit level printer that we have in our office right now. But I want you all to know that not only was love poured into this document is representative of real women's voices, lives, and experiences. And as you page through, you will see some familiar faces. Corinda Rainey Moore, our founding board member, opens the document, and there's just an incredible amount of energy that will jump from these pages. We know that this will resonate with you. We sat with women from our team, from our network, from our ambassador corps, from the community, and we talked and we asked them, what do you feel you deserve? What do Black women deserve? And we took that information. So everything we do is informed by Black women. We are our first experts. We know what we need. We understand our experience. We know the dynamics that we're facing. We know how to put language around that. And this document, as a precursor to our larger policy blueprint, is really a reflection of what real Black women believe we deserve. And we want you to tell us how you feel about it as you look at it, download it, share it, put it on social media, take it into your workplace, show it to your mama, your grandma, your sister, your auntie, your daughter, your next door neighbor, and to let this energy and this synergy flow and see what we can create as we build this campaign and this movement. Thank you, Kristen, for being such a powerful part of this journey. Jasmia, connected to our policy blueprint, of course, is our Well Black Woman Institute. These are separate initiatives, but everything we do is interconnected. So you can't have a policy blueprint without folks to drive the policy and do the advocacy, who are equipped with the skills, the knowledge, the confidence to go out there and be soldiers, right, in this struggle, like Dr. Latson-Billings said earlier. But, even thinking about it as this movement, as this necessary action that we're taking to transform and reshape how we live in our state, in our communities, and wherever we are. We see this work as a blueprint for other Black women in other communities, not just here. And our institute is a big part of how we develop leaders who can go across many communities in our state and do this work. So Jasmia, can you tell our listeners what is the Institute? How does it work? How is it structured? When will it launch? And what can someone who signed up to become a member of our Institute, what can they expect?
Thank you, Lisa. So the Well Black Women Institute is our inaugural Health Equity Leadership Development Institute. And what we are saying is that we know that Black women across the state, across the country, are already leading initiatives that will advance the wellness and well-being of Black women, Black children, and Black communities. What the Well Black Women Institute is offering is the opportunity to be in community with other Black women committed to social justice, health equity, building the next generation of well Black women in such a way that they can continue to refine and mine and identify and develop the skills that we know Black women that we already have, the brilliance that we know we already have, the knowledge and the wisdom that we know we already have. Women who are joining with us today and are interested can complete the interest form in the vendor booth titled Foundation for Black Women's Wellness, Well Black Women Institute. And you will hear from me when our application launches in mid-October of this year. The initial experience will be an intensive and engaging and vibrant 8-month learning community with women from Dane County, Milwaukee County, Rock County and potentially Kenosha County. I'm looking at Lisa for a wink or nod.
Yes.
And we know that COVID continues to influence the ways in which we are able to gather. So initially, we planned for a virtual launch of the first cohort of the Well Black Women Institute. So it's an opportunity to deepen and broaden the skills you have, be in transformative community, and go out and be the leaders, soldiers, change agents, scholars that we have already been, but really having a platform to be able to get at the front of and be at the decision-making tables, build the tables, break the tables, rebuild the tables, reimagine them, and all these possibilities that are available for us because we are creating them. So that's the Well Black Women Institute, and that's how you get connected.
Yes, and we understand that there have been many folks who've gone to our expo booth already for the Institute and who've signed up to get more information. It will be a cohort model, so there's an application process. We will be limited to how many folks we can bring into the Institute each year, but it will be a continuous annual recruitment process for at least 5 years. And our goal is to really grow a legion of empowered Black women across the communities that Jasmia listed, that are heavily impacted by the disparities and inequities that we talked about today. Is no secret what we're contending with here in Wisconsin, but we believe that we have the power to change this, and we know that we are the first answer. We're not waiting on lawmakers or legislators to do it for us because we know that track record is unpredictable. And most usually not exactly all the things we need. So we will build the coalitions that we need in our communities to be able to go out and make the transformation. And as you've heard today, we have a philosophy that we talk about often, that this next decade in Wisconsin is a pivotal moment in transition for Black women. We are in a time where there is no more time to waste. You all know, especially those of you who are here in Wisconsin, and maybe you can relate to this in other communities, we've got enough research reports, enough data. We can cite all the studies. I see our wonderful friend, Dr. Michelle Robinson, knows what all those studies are. We've talked a lot about this. We've got all the data that we need, and we don't need any more data. We need action, we need change, but we have to define and shape that change. Thank you to Dr. Robinson for being a part of supporting and cheerleading our work. You were such a great advisor to us along the way on many projects that we've engaged in, and many of our speakers today, many of our guests who weren't speakers today have been so instrumental in informing and shaping the work of the foundation. And so we know, you know, that when we speak about the foundation, we're talking about all of us, because this organization represents all of us. And so many of you have had a part in shaping our agenda, our priorities, our focus. And we do this for ourselves, and we do this for you. So please learn more about the Institute. We hope to see familiar names and new names in that application or in that request for additional information. I wanted to ask you one question, Kristen, and I'm putting you on the spot because we didn't plan this. So there are 9 pillars in our policy preamble. Which one of those pillars, and for those of you who looked in it already, let us know if you've looked at the pillars and what pillar stands out to you, but what pillar amongst the 9 speaks to you most personally when you think about what we've established in this document?
I would say freedom, because freedom encompasses the rest of the pillars to me, right? In the line in the blueprint that says, the freedom to move through the world just the way we are. And so that just empowers me to, everything else falls in line after freedom, right? The education, the quality healthcare, economics, right? So the liberation that's going to happen when we come together is just so powerful to me. And that's the most powerful pillar to me. Looking
Yes.
forward to the liberating movement that is no longer science fiction, like Angela said today, Angela Russell. That was so powerful to me. And that panel like really, really honed in on freedom. So there's that synergy again, right? That that alignment with the blueprint.
Yes, and I love reading someone from Missouri. Where are you? Yvette Armstrong Rondano says, I am going to shape the change here in Ferguson, Missouri. We stand with you. We support you, Yvette. We hope we've poured energy your way today to give you that assurance that you can, you will, and you will succeed. And we're with you here in Wisconsin as you continue on your endeavors. Jasmia, what pillar of the 9 stands out most to you?
Without a doubt, my response is quality education. For folks who would have had the chance to cross paths with me prior to my role at the foundation, know that I spent quite a bit of time making a way for myself in education, both in higher ed and in K-12 education. And when I think about quality education, for me, having access to it was the launching pad to breaking generational curses that were mediated by racism, poverty, violence against women and girls. And when I think about the importance for the future that will exist when I'm no longer here, I think about my 3 children, 3 energetic, beautiful, Black young boys who I hope will someday self-identify as Black feminists. And I know that the education they receive formally will shape their future, but also the education that I'm able to support them in redefining and making new meaning of the traditional education will shape the future where we are able to say without a doubt, without a question, and have it be true that Black women's lives matter.
Yes.
Black children's lives matter. Black communities matter. And so quality education for me stands out as a critical path to shaping the future that we deserve.
Absolutely. You know, what your words say to me, Jasmia, and everything we've heard today is when we say Black women deserve, we are inherently saying Black children deserve, Black men deserve, Black families deserve, Black communities deserve. You know, as we've talked to women, as we've talked amongst ourselves, as we're talking about our aspirations, our vision for our future, it is always connected to the people that we love. So often we hear people say, oh, you're just stuck on women and you know, women are a part of this. We know what women are a part of. We know that Black women are a part of a larger community and family system. So when we say Black women, you can assume that we're talking about Black women and everyone and everything connected to our lives. We know that when Black women grow in strength and power and security and stability, our families thrive along with us. So this ripple effect is important, but the investment, we believe, has to begin with Black women. I mean, we're unapologetic about that. Aaliyah, what are we hearing in the chat? I'm seeing so many things that are blowing my mind. I want to hear what folks are saying. I'm reading it, but it's coming so quickly.
I just feel like there's such a synergy and coherence in what we're talking about here. People are talking about what pillars really resonate for them. People are welcoming the new faces, the youth to the foundation.
Yes.
Folks are just, you know, talking about, again, like you mentioned one, there's another one in Illinois actually talking about, I need to find something like this in Illinois.
Yes.
So I think right now we're just experiencing Black women claiming what they deserve, demanding what they deserve. And we're in this space together, really united in that. And this document is just something that can really mobilize and energize us. And although it's for Wisconsin, as we've been saying over and over again, it really resonates across the nation. So there's just excitement and joy right now happening in the chat.
Yes, Dr. Robinson says, we do not live in silos. We are inextricably connected. Investing in Black women is investing in Black communities and Black families. Absolutely. Corinda, when Black women grow in stability, our families and our communities thrive. Yes. Black women, we are the foundation. Black women, Black children, Black communities matter. I hear Chandra Lewis saying that freedom and economic security both resonate with her. They also resonate with me, but I want to hear from you, Aaliyah. What pillar resonates most powerfully for you? And keep telling us in the chat, what your thoughts are as well.
All of them resonate, obviously. Not to be duplicative, but again, as a mother of 5 beautiful Black children, ages 23 to 5 years old, and a grandmother of a baby not yet 1, equal opportunity really resonates for me. I really want all the people in my life to have the same opportunities to work, to earn, to advance, access to everything that they need in order to live their best lives and well-being. And so that is really resonating with me today. And that is what I'm speaking over my children and all the children and over all of us as well. Equal opportunity.
Yes, I agree with that. Economic security really stands out to me. Of course, you all know in our group meetings, freedom rises to the top for me. The autonomy of just our ability to be the free human beings we were born to be and to control our world, our destiny, and the ways we move in this world. But economic security, I think I heard someone say earlier, if we can't earn and support ourselves and have basic self-determination, and economic security that enables us to have choices and options as women to decide how we move through this world, what do we have, right? So often we know with the poverty levels, the data that we see about disproportionate poverty, disproportionate income gaps, wage gaps that Black women face in our families, our men, our youth who are seeking employment, the things that we contend with in terms of insecure housing, food that are just elevated and exasperated in Wisconsin. We asked earlier on a panel, what is it that is unique about Wisconsin and the Midwest, where we see these entrenched patterns of struggle amongst Black women and families? We really have to address the issue of economic security and all the pillars that really feed into making that possible. It's one of the reasons, too, why tomorrow on our agenda, we will talk about financial wellness, building pathways to wealth with Kara Stevens in the morning. So do not miss tomorrow. Do not miss tomorrow, where we will practically and tangibly pour into you personally about how we can take responsibility and action to build our own capacity to build economic security and wealth. And we'll also talk about business and entrepreneurship with B. Dixon, the owner of a national product, what do we call it? Feminine hygiene products that was really born from a vision and a desire that she had to create a solution that wasn't there for her. And it has grown into an enterprise that has built wealth for her. And she shares that knowledge with Black women. And her co-panelist, Jathita Hernandez, who works for our Federal Office of Minority Business Development, will talk about this incredible enterprising nature of Black women who are leading in the numbers as most likely to start a business, and how do we sustain that entrepreneurial spirit and gain the means and the tools to build businesses that last as a pathway to ownership and economic stability and wealth. So these are real conversations about real issues. And we hope that you'll be here for that. And it all ties into our vision for what Black women deserve. Cassandra says one of the keys to create generational wealth is through creating multiple streams of income. And when I hear that term, I'm very familiar with that, but I think of Dr. Jasmine Zapata, who is such a dynamic person, a physician, pediatrician, author, social entrepreneur. She's written a book about multiple streams of income. And so we are on to that. And that's a real conversation that will come out tomorrow in the session with Kara Stevens, who talks very deeply about the necessity of having multiple ways of earning. So we hope that you'll be there for that. Aaliyah, can you tell us what Jessie Kendall, Ambassador Jessie, we love seeing you here. We've seen you here all day. We're so happy to see you in the space. What is she telling us?
Yeah, she's really resonating with safe and affordable healthcare, which makes sense in considering where she's positioned in the world as a nurse, and she thinks about the ways that racism shows up in healthcare and makes it unsafe, and how we need to be able to come to someone who's culturally congruent with us, looks like us, provides a safe space, another place to be. So that's what she's saying. I'm seeing other folks. I see Patrina talking about equal rights. Zakia talking about equal justice. So it's resonating, and folks are connecting with different pillars for different reasons.
Absolutely. We love how interactive you all are. We love how willing you are to share. We also had some other questions for you today. We've talked a bit, but we want to hear your reactions to today. It really does matter to us to know what impacted you most, what stood out to you, what was most profound. So we're going to throw those questions out to you. I don't know, Ali, if you want to put them in the chat, but what stood out to you most profoundly today in all the things you heard, in all the panels, and all the keynotes? You know, we started the day with our opening session. We heard from sponsors. We heard from Representative Sheila Stubbs. We heard an inspirational poem by Nichelle Nichols, which was riveting. And I'm still thinking about the things that she said. Then we had our national expert panel with Dr. Gloria Ladson-Billings, Angela Aina, and M. Adams from Freedom Inc. We moved on to our state level panel with Representative Lakeisha Myers, Dalvery Blackwell from the African American Breastfeeding Network in Milwaukee, and Angela Lang from Block. And so we've had these impressive discussions, you know, and then that flowed into our keynote address by Dr. Kamara Jones. Did you all hear Dr. Jones? Did you all understand? Did you all witness the power of the message of Dr. Jones? Yes. What if we wrote our story anew? That was Nichelle's beautiful quote this morning, amongst many in that powerful piece that she wrote for us. We want to hear from you. What stood out to you today in all the things that we've heard? What has been the consistent message that has been most significant for you? What are we hearing?
Yeah, so Lisa, we've been having these conversations since the beginning of this session, when unfortunately we lost you for a little bit, but people were really feeling stay in the struggle with Dr. Gloria Langston-Billings. People were all over. I'm just looking back in here, the 3 Ps. I'm trying to remember them right now. Somebody help me right now.
Purpose, passion, and plan.
People were all over that. Folks were all over, of course, our keynote and how amazing that was. You know, people were just around just Black women, excellence in general, leadership showing up on the screen. And for many of us, we can walk through our whole day at work and otherwise not seeing a whole lot of us. So just that piece right there. So we were really in this conversation for a long time, people just resonating, the joy. And certainly, I don't know about you, Lisa, but my text messages have been blowing up from everything from the music that's been offered, you know, DJ Ace, you know, the fitness, just the whole day has been something really special.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, you know, I'm going to do something that was not scripted. You all may have remembered that this morning I mentioned that one of our guests could not make it to the panel, T.R. Williams, who works with our Department of Health Services. She is 3rd in command of our Department of Health Services, Assistant Deputy Secretary, and formerly Director of Outreach for Governor Tony Evers. She is an incredible leader in our community, a health equity advocate, a lawyer by training, an ally in this work, a change maker on many levels. She was called away this morning on official state business, felt so bad that she couldn't be here. She wanted to be in this space more than she wanted to be off doing the official state work that she was called to do. And she sent us a wonderful video message to play for you all. And I'm wondering if we can load that up, tech team, and hope that you receive the message that she put together last night at the midnight hour when she realized that she could not be here today. And let's see if we can cue that up here it comes. Assistant Deputy.
Greetings. Hello. Hey. I am so excited, honored, and humbled to be invited to the 13th annual Black Women's Wellness Day, brought to you by, organized by the Foundation for Black Women's Wellness. I am so sorry that I couldn't be there with you all live and in the mix, but I'm excited that I've had this opportunity to still share in the moment with all of you. I am T.R. Williams. I serve as the Assistant Deputy Secretary for the Wisconsin Department of Health Services. And my daddy asked me, what does that mean? I am the number 3 in leadership for the state agency that has over 6,000 employees and $11.5 billion budget. So in the spirit of transparency, honesty, and candor, I stumbled a bit with doing this video. I was preparing for a panel where I was going to react and interact with the dialogue and the dynamic of questions with my awesome co-panelists, Angela Lang and Dalvery Blackwell, who I know I have not had the opportunity to meet in person, but I have heard the testimony and the good news of the work that you have done with the African American Breastfeeding Network. And Angela Lang and I go way back. So as I was preparing to do the video instead, I really began to quake on the second part of what this panel is called, the focus of how we build the future we deserve. As I thought about that more and more, I began to think about this last 2 years that we've been in, maybe a little bit less than 2 years. And I thought about a lot of things that have happened and experienced. I thought about what it meant for me to be a person who identifies as a Black woman working in government throughout this entire period. In the work that I do, I am regularly getting the numbers and the data shared with me about the state of Black women's health. I know that later today you're going to hear from Dr. Michelle Robertson at the Department of Children and Families, and you're also going to hear from Dr. Jasmine Zapata. And I can hear them in my head. Data is important. It is a framework. It helps to understand a situation. It can create a narrative when it's put in the right hands. And I'm not trying to diss data at all. I also know, in thinking of my life, my sister's life, my mom's life, my cousin's life, and all of you who are here, we as Black women have a lived experience when it comes to what we engage in and how we engage in, particularly in the traditional healthcare system. And despite the fact that Black women are not a monolith, we have different feelings and thoughts and world perspectives, ideas, likes and dislikes, we eerily have very similar experiences in this healthcare system. This similarity is truly one of the many alarms of the systems of structural racism and white supremacy that we are living and surviving within as Black women. And so again, as I thought about how do we build that future better for us, and as I'm trying to tell you that I'm not dissing data, you may say, TR, so what are you saying? Well, I think of these words. I am deliberate and afraid of nothing. Your silence will not protect you. If I didn't define myself for myself, I would be crunched into other people's fantasies for me and eaten alive. Revolution is not a one-time event. Our feelings are our most genuine paths to knowledge. Pain is important. How we evade it, how we succumb to it, how we deal with it, how we transcend it. Without community, there is no liberation. If anybody knows me, you know that Audre Lorde is my favorite, and those are her words. Mom Bet, also known as Elizabeth Freeman, was an enslaved Black woman in Massachusetts. In 1781, Mom Bet filed a suit asserting that her enslavement went against the Declaration of Independence. If you're doing the math, this is 5 years after the Declaration of Independence was written. And in the Massachusetts Supreme Judicial Court, they ruled that mum-bet enslavement was in fact inconsistent with the 1780 Massachusetts State's Constitution. And this ruling was upheld under appellate review. This is 84 years before de jure, by law, slavery would end in what would become the United States of America. 84 years, what we now celebrate as Juneteenth Day in 1865. So I give you some Audre Lorde quotes. I give you a little bit of law and history. And what am I saying? That when I think about building our future as Black women, I think about the pride and the legacy and the pedigree that we come from. There are some who feel embarrassed by the history of slavery and enslavement of our people. And I find joy and pride in that history because we survived. Amidst serious challenges, we survived. And even in the midst of the struggles that we are in now for equity and for our health and for our bodies and for our babies' bodies and their health, I cannot say that we haven't seen any change. It feels disrespectful, honestly, to that history. What I can say, that because revolution is not a one-time event, I consider the work that the state has to do as a work that is exciting work to do. There is natural tension that I believe that should exist between advocates, the community, the politics, citizens, and sources of power, which includes the state. A natural tension that keeps us accountable to what we're doing, what we say, what we don't do, what we don't say. The implied and the explicit actions that we take, knowing what is going on in our community. I am excited and proud to be the Assistant Deputy Secretary at the Wisconsin Department of Health Services, a department that has leaned into the health equity that is needed, that has created an Office of Health Equity, that has had these conversations that are not easy to have with those who may not have been prepared to have them, and for being a fertile ground for those advocates that are knocking at our door and telling us be better and do better. Now, I certainly know that as tensions have risen and as things have continued throughout this time, it's been very difficult to be a Black woman working for the government, the state, the system. I also believe strongly that I am here by no mistake, but by an intention and a design and a plan much larger than me. And because of that, this is an opportunity for us to seize, for advocates to be intentional, strategic, and deliberate in their ask, and ultimately for us not to give up on government. Not because it's perfect, not because I'm singing out of the hymn note, but because government owes us and has a responsibility to us. It's what Mom Bet, as an enslaved woman, 84 years before Emancipation Proclamation, it's what she was able to see. That if these promises are going to be put out there, if we're going to raise flags to the ideals of what America is, then we have to be wanting to have accountability. James Baldwin says that because I love America so deeply, I critique it harshly and consistently. And so my message of how we build future is to continue your advocacy. Be encouraged in your truth and in your power of your feelings and your experience. And I think it all depends on where you're at in time and who you're talking to. That doesn't always have to be contentious, and it doesn't always have to be meek. You can be strong and assertive in several ways as we exist as Black women. Again, we're not a monolith. So however that message for you as an advocate, as a mom, as a taxpayer, as a neighbor, as someone who's working in healthcare or education, however that truth lives within you, speak it. And I here at the Department of Health Services is going to listen, and we want to hear your words. Thank you again for inviting me. My apologies for not being there. Enjoy the day, enjoy the conference, and be well.
right. All right. We see mic drop. Do we have to say anything more? Do we have to say anything more? I'm so grateful that Spirit moved to say, play that video right now. I think it's the perfect moment and a perfect message. Yes, we needed this, Kaya. I agree with you. Accountability, power, believing in the power of our feelings and our experience. We know what we need. We know where we're going. Yes, at the midnight hour last night, she pulled that video together. She said, I just have to speak from my heart to these women who will be in this space tomorrow, though I cannot be there. I want you all to take away the powerful leaders of Black women we have in our community, in our state. There is a synergy and an energy and an alignment that is happening right now that we have to seize. As TR said, and we've said it all day, there's a moment of opportunity right now that we have to seize in our state and any state that we're in. We're in the best position we've ever been in, despite challenges. We have to look beyond the challenges. Like she said, Mom Bet had vision. An enslaved woman, chattel slavery victim, had vision, right? And in my philosophy, Mom Bet, our mothers, foremothers, and mothers before them already paid the debt. So we don't have to keep paying. We have the open door. Despite what seems to be challenges and barriers, we have an open door. We are living, as she said, within the structures. We're surviving white supremacy structure and systems, but we have vision and we have power and we have the capacity to change our world, to build a future we deserve, and we will do it. I wish TR was here for me to thank, but we're going to do a collective snap and a clap for TR, and I'm going to show her this video and I'm going to show her this love that she created and generated in this space today. With that, we want to remind you to come back tomorrow, to come back tomorrow for day 2. Day 2 is going to be exciting. I spoke about it earlier. We have sessions that are designed to pour into you personally. We start the morning with a very important message from partners, followed by the morning keynote, Building the Future, the Thriving Future You Deserve with Cheryl Wood. We have our financial wellness session with Kara Stevens. We have a senior session for women 62 and older, led by our own board member, Dr. Debbie Jones, who's an internal medicine physician and hospitalist at SSM St. Mary's Health here in Dane County. A wonderful, wonderful mental health session tomorrow afternoon with Black mental wellness, and also a closing new leaders panel. And I spoke earlier also about the business and entrepreneurship discussion we'll have with 2 national leaders. Don't miss tomorrow. Come back. In the meantime, go to our expo booths, learn more about the policy blueprint, the Well Black Woman Institute. If you feel moved by what you've experienced and heard today, donate. Donate to the Foundation for Black Women's Wellness. As you know, we are a nonprofit organization and our work is only as strong as the support we receive from our donors and our sponsors. And we believe that first and foremost, Black women should fund our own work. We are philanthropists. That could mean $1. That could mean $20. That could mean $5,000. That could mean 50 cents. What warmed my heart so often when we were physically gathering for Black Women's Wellness Day are the envelopes women would leave on the table with $5 to say, this is what I have, but I want this to go to building this work because I've been changed today. So if you feel so moved, go to our website, FFBWW.org/donate. Grab your swag. We're all wearing Black Women Deserve t-shirts today. We don't know if you can see it on camera, but go there to our website, get your t-shirt. I'm going to tell you, there's a feeling that you experience when you pull this shirt and this message over your chest. It's bigger and better than an S on your chest to walk with this message. And on the back, there's a list of wonderful things. I'm not going to turn around. I'm going to knock my whole table over. How about you, Aaliyah? You want to model the back of your shirt? There you go. On the back, we name some of the things, just a small bit of the things that we know we deserve. We want to see as many women as possible wearing the shirt in our community as a collective outward sign of our commitment to building a future we deserve. We thank our sponsors. Again, today, so many, too many to name. Without your support, American Family Institute, CUNA Mutual, and others, we would not be able to do what we do. So we thank you and we honor you and our vendors and exhibitors today. We're going to leave out with prizes, which Aaliyah's been waving the paper to remind me not to skip this very fun segment that we close out with on each day every year. And I will turn it over to you, Aaliyah. So I hope everybody went to the booth to enter the raffle prizes.
Make sure tomorrow, if you didn't enter today, make sure you enter tomorrow.
Yes.
Just to reiterate, donate. The gifts that we are about to bestow this day, all the things that we do are thanks to the gracious donations and investments that our community makes in us. So you want to see more of this, you want more of this, you want us to move more work, donate, donate, donate. So speaking of the generosity, let's talk about the first two gift cards that I will be naming are for our partner, Willie Street Co-op. So the winners, where's the drum roll? The winner, the first winner of a Willie Street $50 gift card, Felicia Turner Walton.
Woo!
Go, Felicia. The second winner of a Willie Street Co-op $50 gift card, Terry Strong.
Woo!
All right, this next gift card is from Festival Foods. Again, a $50 Festival Food gift card goes to Dr. Debbie Jones. We have a $25 Walgreens gift card that goes to Nancy Evans. We have another Willie Street Co-op $50 gift card that goes to Edjuana Ogden. We have a $50 Target gift card that goes to Cassia Stevenson or Cassia Stevenson. There is no relationship. There's no relationship, despite the same last name.
No conflict of interest. No conflict of interest.
There is a $50 Festival Foods gift card that goes to Dawn Shelton Williams.
Woo!
Whoa. Now for the big buddies. We have a Sephora gift box, $200 value, that goes to Ruby Jackson.
Woo!
That's Ruby.
And I have to say, I peeked in the box, and it is some good stuff in that box. It is truly $200 of wonderful products in that Sephora box. So Ruby, you're going to enjoy. It was very hard for us to give that box away, but we're so happy that you won, Ruby.
Now, speaking of the generosity of honey pots,
yes,
as you see behind me displayed a deluxe adult honey pot bundle plus a $100 Visa gift card and a Black Women's Wellness Day t-shirt, mask, and a wristband. I am not done, y'all. A $25 DoorDash code and Kara Stevens' book. We're going to hear from Kara Stevens tomorrow. All that incredible gift goes to the lucky winner, Sharice Johnson. Sharice, I'm going to have to talk to you, girl. Okay, another big gift. An adult honey pot bundle plus a $100 gift card plus a $25 DoorDash code goes to our last and final winner of the night. Drum roll, please. Zakia Sorensen. Congrats to all of our winners today. Thank you so much for entering. Do not forget to enter tomorrow now that y'all see what's happening with these guests. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for being here. Lisa, any final words?
Building the future we deserve. Come back tomorrow. Join us for day 2 of what will be an amazing experience. And tomorrow we will actually have a segment where we repeat our Black Women Deserve affirmation. We want you to read it tonight when you go home, get familiar with this document, begin to share it, think about the direction you'd like to take in joining us in this work, and be well until we see you tomorrow. Thank you for being here, everyone. Have a great and wonderful evening.